Hey everyone, it's VM Campos, Magic Fan. Welcome to the stream. Streaming Saturday. It is a new thing. I actually turned it on last week, but subscriber only chat. So the stipulation is you must be a subscriber to the channel, and then you can chat. So very easy stipulation for everyone to meet. Good afternoon. It is currently 8:02 p.m. over here for me. So we've got some cool stuff to do tonight. Let's confirm all of our webcams are working okay. So we've got the awesome cam. It seems to be working pretty awesomely at the moment. Maybe move it up slightly. Is that too much? Let's see, somewhere around there. That's too much. We'll see. There we go. Then we've got our full screen cam. Looks good over here. I forgot to put, I was reserving the comic that I was going to put over there, and I didn't put it over there, but I have it over here, so I'll put it. We can talk about it later. There we go. 3:02 p.m. for you, I see, and it's also Sunday. We've got our web browser. Is our web browser looking okay? Let's see here. In case we need to do cool stuff online, we've got our web browser. I remember that's the one that's never ready to go. Sorry about that. Let me set it here. There we go. There's the web browser view in case we need to go online to get the latest scoops. Our card cam is right over here. I need to turn on the light, actually. It might be a little bit dark. But what we've got is, for the snack chat later, I've got some fun little international snacks to nosh on and chat about. And I have a crack-a-pack, but I don't have any packs of magic cards. So we're going to open a pack of something. This is related to that one video that I put, but this was not part of that one video that I put there. And then another pack of something behind them. So no magic cards to crack open, but some Powerpuff Girls cards to crack open. We'll see how vintage they are. And that's the card cam. And back to the game cam. So everything seems to be on track. So that's our schedule right there. I already did the gold digging, actually. I kind of had a hankering for some gameplay today, so I already got today's rewards. And then after that we've got the crack-a-pack, and after that we've got some draft, and then snack chat and ladder. Did I end up trying the Tim Tam technique? No. I just was enjoying the snacks at a time. I was enjoying the Tim Tam at a time that I didn't also want to do coffee. So I was this close to having the willpower to actually try it because it sounded like an amazing technique. But maybe when I buy them next time, and I'll give them a try. But all by themselves, I was perfectly happy with them as well. Okay, so let's play. Actually, okay, let's play one game or so of this Tiamat deck, this dragon deck that I made last week. Yeah, let's play with that deck just a little bit more. Big old dragons. And then I was crafting a deck as well. I was giving this a shot where I was looking at the top meta deck. Hey there, Jakivis. Just got subscribing with a tier 1. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for joining the VMC crew on the Twitch. Totally appreciate it. It's always cool when people join up. So I was looking at the dealing with Turgrid. Okay, so I was what I like to do sometimes is to look at the top tier decks of standard or historic or whatever, and then make a brawl deck out of it. So I was looking at I believe it's Sultai Control is currently the most Sultai Control, I believe, is currently the most popular meta deck at the moment. So I was starting to craft that deck, but we'll see how far along I am in it. How was my day? Good so far. I actually made, that's what I should do the snack chat of also. I made some Coca-Cola earlier today, actually Coca-Cola syrup. I found a cool recipe. What's the guy's name? There's this chef guy that is all about. He's all about cooking and the like, and he had a great recipe to make Coca-Cola. So I made some, and it tastes good. It's I wouldn't say it's exactly Coca-Cola flavor, but I enjoyed it. Whoops. So it's the syrup, and then you add the carbonated water and the... Oh man, not good. If I had one more... If I had one more, I would have been able to do that, but okay. Let's... maybe I can still do... Yeah, I can still do it. Search the library for up to 2 basics, put them... Oh, they come in tapped. Never mind. Okay, so I'm going to lose something. They are going to live their best life and make me discard at least one thing. Or maybe they might look at my hand and steal my Nabone. Okay, that could work. So I'll discard 2 things that they won't... Well, they're going to take the Omen of the Hunt, but that's fine. Control players. I really dislike when it's mono blue. I really dislike when it's mono blue. Blue white is also annoying, but at the least they have the courtesy of having to play 2 colors and manage all their colors and so forth. I feel that on most of like the mono colors I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of mono red. I'm not a fan of mono blue. I'm not a fan of mono green, which is hypocritical because I like to play some of the mono things. Okay, they're going to do the sacrifice your own creature. They're going to steal my creature. So it's going to be hard to deal with this. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. See, there we go. So, yeah, you know, I already know that this Turgid deck is very good. I have my own copy. So let's not waste our time. Our deck is way too complex. Again, this is the example of the mono color type of decks. They're kind of a little bit more on rails, I would say, whereas mine, I have to build up a mana base of 5 colors and then do all my cool stuff. So let's try another one, and then we'll look at the building that other tier deck. There's a new character. It's a 2 mana, makes treasures, and then creatures that come into the battlefield, if you paid a treasure, come in with a +1. So they're going to be able to summon their commander right away. We'll see if they are greedy and or hasty by summoning their commander right away, because I have the Heartless Act ready. That's a new one. 50 feet of rope. Climb over, target wall, cannot attack, tied up, blah blah blah. Sure. let's say, I know they're going to summon it in a moment, but in my case, I can still start building up my mana base. I'll probably summon them this early. I don't recommend you do that. Whoops. Pro tip, don't summon your commander right away. Okay, come on, get greedy. Oh, they didn't get greedy. Okay, that's fine. Let's deal with that. Next turn, play my crystal. Let's see, will they resummon it? They have the 4 mana. They have a Liliana. Okay. I have an answer. That's a good card. That was a good card. Oops, and they milled their own Massacre Worm. Womp womp. Okay, they have their 4th mana. They could resummon their commander. Hey there, Dark Lord. How are you doing? Oops, there's their commander. Alright, as for myself, well, no big play except to start to get my commander ready. Okay, let's see if they pop off here. So their goal is to summon creatures with treasure to make them stronger, such as that Immersturm Predator. So that's bad. Although what they need to do is sacrifice their own creature to make it indestructible. When Immersturm becomes tapped, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard and put a +1. Oh, okay, yeah. Sacrifice another creature, this gets indestructible. Fine. I'm sure because they're playing Rakdos, they are going to have some removal. So I doubt my Tiamat is going to survive. If it does, I can do my technique of having my old Gnawbone, which is amazing. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create that many treasures. Magical Christmas Land is that my Tiamat does not die. It's about to die. They're looking at it. They're hovering over it. Thusly obvious. Anyway, so Magical Christmas Land was that I would have kept Tiamat, summoned all old Gnawbone, and then made so much treasure. In the meantime, we will tap their Predator, and if my white dragon doesn't die next turn, summon Gnawbone, get a bunch of treasure, summon a bunch of dragons. You're addressing something and working 12-hour shifts majority of the week. That's a lot. That's a lot of time spent on that. Hopefully you find some peaceful times to also enjoy. Okay, I think this is gonna work. Here we go. Are we gonna get what I need here? Actually, that's a 4 mana. Okay, so we'll get Gnawbone out. Attack with a 4/4. Make 4 mana. Make 4 mana, 4, 5, 6. Then wipe their commander. They have enough to resummon it, but then that'll tap them out for a bunch of stuff. Next turn. Okay, so if they attack and they're defenseless, that's fine, because then if I attack with both my dragons, I'll make 12 mana or whatever, but they're looking at Gnawbone and they'll say Gnawbone. What does that do? Artifact can't block. Target creature doesn't untap. Whatever. That's a 6/6. Sure. They're still looking at it. Every time I see people looking at my items, I just know they're going to wreck things. Let's bring out another big old dragon that has Ward of 4 and an amazing animation. It has Ward 4 as long as it's untapped. Haha, Ward kicked in. Fine, they're totally tapped out, which I can live with. If they attack, they shouldn't attack. Okay, fine, you'll attack. Are you sure about that? I'm gonna do 8 damage. Okay, this is game over for them, because then I summon my dragon that lashes. Oops. Wrong dragon. I thought it was the other dragon. Anyway, let's see if we can still survive. They haven't used their rope at all yet. Actually, they can tap. Target creature doesn't untap, venture into dungeon, target can't block, whatever. Okay, so I don't think they can do 13 damage, right? I should block that because this is an Ember Cleave? Okay. Doesn't untap, sure. Do you have another blocker for that 4 flyer? Yes, they have removal, I bet. Yeah, it's the wrong dragon. I thought it was the other red dragon. Not the movie, but the magic card red dragon. Yeah, I'm sure they've got removal. They've got double black. I'm sure here's a murder. And then I don't have a haste creature. Okay, gained a little life off of that. Vastwood Surge is not enough to make that happen. Okay. I guess dragons are scary. Okay, I'll take that win. Alright, that was a win. So let's segue into, like I was saying about crafting that deck. But first, let me ask a question here on the old Question of the Day book. It's July 17th in California. And I'm going to ask today's question of the day. This is one of these kind of like more serious ones, I suppose. I always take these too seriously anyway. So here's the question. How can you help? So very open-ended, very serious type of question. How can you help? And when I answered this question last year, I wrote, by contributing to charities. So there's a few charities that I contribute to every year, and that's how I do that. But that was the question. Again, these questions range a little bit from serious to fun and in between, and that was the question there. So if any of you want to answer that, feel free. But in the meantime, I was going to craft this deck over here. Sultai Control. Although it's 4 colors, which is not Sultai. Okay, so I think I had put the land base, Fabled Passage, Evolving Wild, Command Tower, Sagoth Triome, Pathway, Temples, Pathways, Forest Swamp Island, Emergent Ultimatum, Green, Blue, Black. Okay. So I'm at 51 cards. I'm going to leave the cards as is there, but I think I need to add some more removal. Power Word, Kill, Gate to Extinction. Shatter the Sky. Blood on the Snow. Oh, and then I need Graveyard removal. And what are those two? Farika's Libation for artifacts, for enchantments. Feed the Swarm and Return to Nature for artifacts. Okay, there we go. 60 cards. This is a Sultai deck. Never played it before. I got it. Oops, what does that say? Invalid cards. 10 invalid cards. What's invalid? What is invalid? This is a Brawl deck. What's invalid? Probably something about the colors, but let's see this way. 40, no, that's... Why, when are they gonna give us the ability to sort our freaking decks? I have to go over here. Okay, so what is invalid? Can you tell me what is invalid? Usually they highlight to tell you something's invalid. Invalid cards. 10. Double click to edit. Is it maybe because when I copied it off of the website, it gave it to me with a sideboard? And they're hidden in the sideboard. Yeah, there it is. There's cards in the sideboard. probably should have seen what they were. I can still see. That's interesting that when I changed it over to the different mode, it didn't tell me in an obvious way or something. So we've got duress. Let me make a note of these because these should probably be in the main board now that it is a singleton. Eliminate, raise my test of talents, mystical dispute, Elspeth Nightmare, pestilent haze, elder Gargaroth, and coma. Okay, so no more invalid cards. I already have eliminate. We have Elspeth's Nightmare. Mystical Dispute. Pestilent Haze. Okay, I am going to remove Extinction Event and instead add Coma. That is an amazing card. Elder Gargaroth. Elder Gargaroth's already there. Yeah, this will work. I don't need Duress or Maze Mind. Okay, so let's give this deck a try. You've been doing drawings for carvings for YouTube channel. When the guy does the videos, share them. Yeah, that'll be cool. I think I remember you mentioned that last week, right? That someone on YouTube, you were connecting with someone on YouTube for that. So are they... So how is it that you're doing the drawings which will become carvings? They're doing the carvings eventually, or you're doing the carvings? You're doing the drawings and then the carvings eventually? Okay, let's see. Atheros Shroud Veiled, Mystical Dispute. Eventually, on turn 6, Feed the Swarm. That's blue or black. Destroy an enchantment. Guess we'll get the pathway out. Let's see if there's anything better here. Evolving Wilds can go get me a black mana, and then Valky can look at their hand. Yeah, this will work better, and I go first. Okay, this will be nice and mean. Turn 1, Evolving Wilds, go get a swamp. Turn 2, play a land. Play Valky, look at their hand, steal a creature. And then I have 2 kill spells after that. He is doing the carvings and you're supplying the drawings. Okay. Let's see what we've got. Erebos. Well, Valky won't live long. Turn 2, they will... Now, this is a bug right here, because what I can keep doing is pressing pay 0 I can keep transforming and paying 0 for as much as I want right here, so that's a bug. Anyway, they're going to drop their second land and then kill my, with Feed the Swarm, they're going to kill my Valky. Fine. Let's mess with them thusly. I wonder if they're getting any sort of animation on their end. Or does it just look all paused? So I am responding and holding priority to transform into a 0 mana cost creature. Probably shouldn't do this because then they'll report me. Play a tapped land. As for myself, blue, cultivate, Erebos eventually. What do I need to cultivate into? Since I don't... Guess just black and blue. I guess I can bring out Gigantha already, right? But should I? Sure, like I said, I haven't really played this deck much, so... I mean, at all. This is the first time I've finished even crafting the deck. Gigantha can make a bunch of mana. I don't really have anything to feed the mana into it, though, so I need my Emergent Ultimatum or one of the big things, Coma, Gargaroth or something. So I have all the mana. Yeah. I have all the mana, but then what do I do with it? They have their 4 mana for their Erebos, which I don't have any way to get rid of at the moment, but it's just going to sit there. There we go, Emergent Ultimatum. Needs triple green. That's double green. But if I tap Gigantha, I should have enough. What does this do again? Search your library for up to 3 monocolor cards with different names and exile them. An opponent chooses one of those. Shuffle that card into your library and then cast the other 2 for free. Okay, so I get to go get 3 things. I've never played this card ever. So I get to go get 3 things, and I get these monocolored things. So, oh, it's monocolored cards. Okay, so Professor Onyx, Elder Gargaroth, Vorinclex. So all the good stuff. They get to decide then what I throw back, and the other 2 I cast for free. So let's see. Do I get to take another turn? Okay, they tossed back. Oh, I didn't do that. Select 1 card. You may cast the other cards without. So select them both, right? Yeah. Select them both for free. And then game over. Yep. That is a nasty card. You do need 1,000,000 mana for it and a very specific casting cost, but we saw we did it here. So I've seen other people play it against me, and I don't really commit it to memory what it does. I just remember that it's good. So finally, when I played it myself, yeah, pick 3 cards. I thought it was just creatures. No, it's search your library for up to 3 monocolored cards with different names. Obviously, in Commander, everything's got 1 name. In Brawl, everything's got 1 name. So, okay, what do you want me to keep out of these 3 amazing cards? And I bet they didn't finish reading the rest, and I bet they thought, pick 1 and you keep it, and the other 2 go back. But you have to read the card. Reading the card explains the card. So the one that they picked is the one that goes back, and the 2 that they didn't pick, I can play for free. That there is life, as I say, LOGLOL. Yep, okay, let's go to the next match, see if we get lucky as well. Gigantha really fixes the... So this deck is originally a standard Sultai control with Yorion, and I turned it into a Brawl deck, and I removed Yorion. I put Gigantha as the commander without really thinking too much about it. But now as I played it, Giganta helped me cast my ultimatum. Well, this is an interesting commander. It's all about zombies and exploring. I mean, venturing. So as for myself, there's the ultimatum. There's double green, double blue, triple green. Turn 2 Signet. Shadow Spear. People love that Shadow Spear. Next turn, Wolf Willow. There's Coma. Playing mono black, so I'm sure plenty of removal. Three mana. Could get the Sea Omen. Or bank the Epiphany. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. I might be able to play the Epiphany next turn if I draw one more mana. Alright, so they'll probably play their commander, which has a kind of a cool thing going on if we read it here. It automatically lets you venture. It automatically lets you venture Tomb of Annihilation. It says if you have not completed Tomb of Annihilation, venture and bounce it back to your hand. So you get to play it for free over and over, 3 mana without the commander tax. Which is, yeah, that's nice. But let's take 2 turns. Let's bring out a Cosmic Serpent. Which is now indestructible. With these little coilies. If you kill the coil, then you can kill my Coma. But I don't think they have enough mana for both, and they're done. Why are people so afraid of this deck? This is just the second time I've ever played it. The reason is because this is what I did over here. If we go to the web browser, actually I should be doing the doing my cool videos, but if we go to MtG Goldfish, not a sponsor of the stream, and go to, where's it at? Decks, popular decks, standard metagame. Oh, this changed from a few days ago. Sultai control was number 1, but now it's flipped over. That mono green mid-range. Mid-range is number 1. So anyway, I went to this deck, and then I did copy it, import it into Arena, and tweaked it to be a brawl deck. And that's what we're playing here. So I just removed the white mana for Yorion. Yorion lets you blink things back and forth. But even without that, that's the only important part of the only reason for the white mana is to blink Yorion. And this is working fine. So hey there, Team Teeks, how are you doing? Welcome. We're talking some deep strategy on Magic. Let's get back to the game. We're going to do the Crack-a-Pack in a moment. Hopefully you can stick around for that. We are going to open up a pack of Powerpuff Girl cards. So I don't have any Magic cards to open up at the moment. So we're going to open up some Powerpuff Girls cards, plus some other secret cards back here that we'll open up later. And we've also got Snack Chat, where I'll try these Japanese snacks. We'll get to that in a little bit, but the game is calling. And I'm trying out this new deck that seems to be pretty mean. So, Krakma. Enters the battlefield with 3+1. So how are you doing? How's everyone doing in the chat today? I don't really love this, but we'll see. I was saying earlier I made some homemade Coca-Cola. I found a fun recipe to make Coca-Cola syrup, which is water, sugar, cardamom seeds, cloves, cinnamon, what else? Citric acid, one or two more things. Oh, lemon zest, lime zest, orange zest, nutmeg. That's like 8 ingredients. Boil it all in the water, strain it, and then you have a Coca-Cola syrup. Then you mix it with sparkling water, and you've got Coca-Cola. Faux-Coca-Cola. F-A-U-X. Faux-Coca-Cola. And it didn't taste exactly like Coca-Cola. It tastes a little bit more, slightly towards the orange direction, but it was very enjoyable. Okay. So hopefully I get a turn 3 play. No. Okay, hopefully I get a turn 4 play. Now, this is like the big brain tech right here, because usually when that thing gets killed, it leaves a creature behind. But this is the only time that spell has ever worked to make a 0/0. Oh, and then I miss a land drop, but I get to steal something from their hand. So many things to steal. How about we steal a cat or a rider? Nah, our thing's gonna get killed. Well, this'll just... This is exactly what happened with the other opponent, that I stole their creature, and of course they had a kill spell right away. So that's funny how the algorithm matches you up. But at least it took a turn, and I got a land. Okay, perfect. So if I get this land... I probably want to play the Binding to ramp, or should I keep it to the Extinction? There's nothing good that they can summon, so yeah, let's Binding of the Old Gods so that I can ramp. I don't have any blue at all yet. Oh, I can bring Pelucranos. But it'll get killed, but it'll come back to life. Yeah, that'll work. Ooh, scary. They need... There's their double black. As expected. And there's more mana. Good. Okay, so what do I do with that? I can summon Giganta already, but they have a kill spell for it. It's 3, 4, 5. If they play their next land, if they play their land and play their commander, then I can extinct it. Fine, at least I'll have a target for the Old Gods. Sure. Missed another land drop, which is fine. Go get a... Oh, actually I can get a triome. That counts as a forest. Okay. I can play another land, but I probably instead... What will be meaner? Let's do Eat to Extinction. That way I can also surveil. So that's twice that their commander died, and that's twice that their commander died and didn't leave back a critter. So that must be the first time ever. Okay, here we go. Emergent Ultimatum. For such a complicated mana cost, this card is amazing. Okay, so what do we want to get here? Vorinclex, Professor Onyx, take another turn. I think that'll work. Get a free turn and get a Professor Onyx. This card is so mean, I can't believe it. Okay, so what are they going to pick? They're not going to read half of that and then pick wrong and then rage quit. Let's see what they pick. What are they going to throw back? Such a mean card. Let's guess what they're going to throw back. They're going to throw back that take an extra turn, which is perfectly fine. Professor Onyx will... Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They threw that one back. And I get 2 free cards over here. They have a kill spell for Liliana, which is fine. But then I've got a 6/6. Then they use up all their mana. Cruel Ultimatum. I don't believe Cruel Ultimatum is on Arena, but it is a very good one. That's the one about gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, and play 7 permanents? Something like that? Something very cruel, right? Oops. Oops. Here's what happened. Binding of the Old Gods is very good. Destroy target non-land permanent. So they were obviously going to destroy one of my good things. However, Vorinclex. If an opponent would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, they put half that many, rounded down. A Saga enters the battlefield and you put 1 counter to go to Chapter 1. Half of 1 is 0, rounded down. So their Saga would stay at 0 forever, killed nothing, and then rage quit. So that's what happened there. They should have done the Bloodchief's Thirst. That would have killed my Planeswalker. But reading the card explains the card. Okay. Next. Is this 3 games in a row we've got? This is 3 games in a row for complete winitude, right? Let's ask another question while we get the next opponent. We'll go back to yesterday's question. Are you wearing socks? And I wrote, last year, I wrote, not at the moment, it is summer. And this year, I'm saying the exact same thing. I'm not wearing socks at the moment, and it is summer. How about all of you? Alright, so I go first. What is this? Trilasara. Whenever you gain life, make this stronger and scry. Okay, so all I need is a little bit of removal, such as eliminate, so this will work. I can eliminate their commander right away. I can tuck away the Epiphany for a rainy day. It's winter in the southern hemisphere, so socks might be nice. What is what is your current winter temperature at the moment? Hey Gabe, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. You're just in time to answer the question of the day, which is, are you wearing socks? I am not. Mark is, because it's winter in New Zealand. Whoops. Well, their commander's dead and I missed a land drop, so I guess that's a good trade. You are wearing socks at the moment, alright. I have these fun Archie socks, you know, Archie, Betty and Veronica, etc. Classic Archie, not the current Riverdale, and now they're roping me because I killed their commander. They thought, how is it possible that my commander gets killed on turn 1? Or do we give them the benefit of the doubt that their connection got bad? You bought some new cards to add to your deck. Can I show them off in the Discord? Yeah, that'd be cool. Oh, speaking of which, there's also Mark's photo. But yeah, put those in the put that in the Discord. They left their commander in the graveyard. Maybe because they didn't select it fast enough? 3 mana, 3 mana. Okay. Give me one more. Actually, I'm so far away from 5 mana. Oh, okay. I'll take that. Temperature's 10 degrees Celsius. Pouring rain, and the end of the streets looks like a mini lake. 10 degrees Celsius. Let me translate that to the more civilized units of Fahrenheit. So that means it's about like 78,000 degrees, if my calculations are correct. No, sorry, negative 78,000 degrees. The Book of Exalted Deeds. If you gain a bunch of like, you make angels. Whoops, you made angels. Oh man. Well, if... Okay, I have double black. I need more blue. I need green. I need white for the shatter. I need a lot of things. Okay. I guess one more green. It'll be a moment to get to double white. And Mystical Dispute. There might be a slightly more efficient way to add these cards, actually. But let's... sure, let's tap them out. Okay, Shadow's Verdict will save me next turn. Well, okay. They're gonna do 10 damage, make another angel. I'm gonna wipe the board, and we'll be okay. We'll stabilize. Alright, they have one card in hand. I have enough for my Vorinclex next turn. They got their commander back. I can take an extra turn. What do we want to do? Take an extra turn, shatter the sky. Well, I don't have enough mana for that. Yeah, let's do that. Actually, I could take another turn. Yeah, let's take another turn. Maybe get a land. And then remove their commander with the binding. Come on, land. It's not a land, but this is close enough. Maybe I should have removed the thing that makes free angels. That's okay, I'm sending a message. So we'll look at your cards in a moment. Looks like some fun cards. I like that Grave Waker. Ochre Jelly. Sure. Ochre Jelly. Trample. Ochre Jelly enters the battlefield with X whatevers. When Ochre Jelly dies, if it had 2 or more +1s on it, create a creature that's a copy of it at the beginning of the next end step. The token enters the battlefield with half that many +1s on it, rounded down. Interesting. So it's supposed to keep coming back to life or something? So it's gonna keep coming back smaller and smaller, I guess, right? Interesting. Taking a bite out of their commander. And yeah, might as well do it one more time. Clear the board. You want to buy some booster packs from Modern Horizons 2 cards. That's a cool set. I think it had a cool variety of things to play with. Definitely. Oh man, do not want that. Can I get one more white mana? Nope. But I do have enough bite power to take out that war leader. Yes! Are we going for our 4th win in a row? Screws. They can probably eat a bunch of things in the graveyard to make it comparable to Polukranos. Yeah, plus Heliod. Eating your own creature. The indignity. Do you have one more? One more creature? It'll turn it into an 8/8 if they can eat one more creature. That's not a creature. Pro tip. You need a creature. Fine. Alright, at the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life, create an angel. Will it... At the beginning of your end step... Okay, we'll be safe. How about a Vorinclex? You have 36 life, but not for long. They're just top ticking at the moment, so hopefully it's just lands such as that. And that comes to life. Oh man. Fine. Gonna play it that way. Okay. Guess we were close. How do we get out of this? Even if I attack full attack, they can take completely all the damage, so they're not gonna block. I have a blocker for that angel. I guess I have to Heartless Act their Telarana, because then that angel doesn't count to keep Heliod's ability open. Kill it, what it? There's plenty of targets, but we need to figure out what to do. That turns it back to normal. And then I have 6. Okay, then I have enough. And I still have it. Okay, good. I did have what I needed. And then Professor can destroy that. I should probably, just in case, still keep up a blocker if Heliod comes to life. Eight, 9, 10, 5, 8, 9. They have 10 mana. They have 10 mana to resummon their Trelasara, which will make Heliod come back to life, and I've got blockers, so I think we'll be okay. Fallen Klex, and that's got trample. Well, they just top deck that right now, right? So GG opponent. They just top deck that. So lucky. If they go straight at me, obviously I'm dead. So they're just toying at the moment. Alright, let's go look at the cards that Gabe acquired for his deck. So we've got the Grave Waker, that is a 5/5 flyer that can return stuff directly to the battlefield. Cool. Pegasus Courser, it's a 1/3. It makes another thing fly because it jumps on its back. And normal endurance, give something +2, and then return it to the battlefield if it dies. Mark of the Vampire, 4 mana. Aura, give a creature +2 and lifelink. And then Knight's Pledge, give a creature +2. Supply Caravan, 5 mana, 3/5, Camo. When this enters, if you control a tapped creature, create a +1 warrior with vigilance. Ooh, Dovin, Architect of Law, 5 loyalty, Planeswalker +1, gain 2 life, draw a card, target, tap a creature, doesn't untap, tap all permanents target opponent controls. That player skips their next untap step. So you tap all their stuff out and make them skip their untaps. That's so fun. Orzhov Locket to fix your mana. And then we got a couple of kitty cats over here. Kitty cat photos. Reaching into the Asahi beer. Looks like a cat. Reminds me of a cat that I used to have that was mostly black and had some white on the chest here and on the feet as well. Yeah, I think those are some fun things for your deck. You said that was for modern, right? Then we've got some of these drawings for the carvings. Let's get a good close-up over here. Some cool patterns with the swords. And the ornamentation. So you're designing this intricate design and then they will carve it. I think you're setting them up for a big challenge. And then here is a larger design. Hey Stevie, how are you doing? We're looking at one of Mark's drawings for a woodworking project. That looks like a cool skull. Cool, thanks for sharing. Yeah, definitely share the link eventually when that gets added to the YouTube. We'll see what it looks like. Just some extra cards you sold by the singles to add to a pack. You got them at Fanboy Gaming. We were playing a little bit of that Tiamat Dragon deck, and then I was playing a brand new deck that worked over well. That was working very well, except for this last opponent that top decked the one card that saved them. But variants, right? So let's change gears a little bit. We've got a crack-a-pack and a snack chat. I kind of want to do the snack chat first, actually. So we have these Kit Kats, Japanese Kit Kats. Why would I ever assume that my focus would work? But we are going to get these nuts. It says nuts and kuri. What does it say? It says nuts and kurachi kaberi. It says nuts and cranberry. So that says nuts and cranberry. I can already feel it melting in my hand. It is kind of warm at the moment. So let's open this up here. Yes, it's a little melty. They're tiny compared to regular Kit Kats. It's nuts and cranberry. Not really tasting any cranberry flavor. It's crunchy. I feel the cranberry, you know, that sort of gumminess of a cranberry. It's very subtle cranberry. And then the nuts, I think, get mixed up with the natural crunch of the Kit Kat. It's good. Not extremely sweet, but it has a good chocolate flavor, very subtle cranberry. Nice crunch. I like that. What about all of you? Do you like crunchy stuff? That's one of my big weaknesses. Crisps and the like. Chips. I really like those. I bought some plantain crisps, and they're so good. Anyone tried the green tea? I'm not a green tea fan at all. I don't like that flavor at all, but I've seen those green tea Kit Kat out there. They look intriguing, but there's plenty of others to try out, such as this this Kit Kat here. What about yourself? Do you like that green tea Kit Kat? You just got the Windows 11 update. I don't think the Windows 11 update is out just yet. I think they're doing the other updates, the other Windows 10 updates, but I don't think the Windows 11 updates, I think they're previewing it and such, but I don't think they're out just yet. You're allergic to nuts? Oops. Yep, don't get too close to the screen. Some might get on you. So, that was a snack chat. I'll open up the other two in a moment. What's my grade on that? I'll give it 4.5 out of 5 Sultai ultimatums. It was pretty good. So let's do the cracker pack, and then we'll take a little break, and then we'll do the draft. I'm going to switch over to the card cam. Also, this was the just another angle on these. And the cracker pack is going to be a pack of Powerpuff Girls cards because I don't have any magic cards. But what I'm going to do is, hold on a moment, I need to turn on the light. I need to turn on the light for this area. And then we'll open those cards. We had a great improv night. Their favorite format that happens monthly, musical improv. Interesting. Is that you play instruments or that music plays and then you do the comedy? Okay, so trading cards, Series 3. Raise your hand in the chat if you're a Powerpuff Girls fan. I remember I enjoyed it. I thought it was a very fun series. They've rebooted it at least once, right? And I've got a few Powerpuff Girls comics. Is there anything interesting to see here? I don't see a copyright date on it. Look inside for other Cartoon Network products offered by Artbox Entertainment. So I don't see any copyright date. I don't see any copyright date on this. 6 cards per pack. What to collect? 72 regular cards, 12 foil chase cards, 6 sneak preview film cards. Chase cards randomly inserted. Recommended for ages 3 and up. When did the Powerpuff Girls come out? I'm thinking like 1998 or something. Around there, right? Powerpuff Girls, 1998 maybe? Yeah, first episode November 18th, 1998. Before that they were a little short. They were a short cartoon as a part of a Craig McCracken being a student at Cal Arts here in California. They did a couple of pilot episodes in 95 and 96, then debuted in 1998. From 98 to 2005, 78 episodes. 2 shorts, a Christmas movie, a film. I remember that film. 10th anniversary special. And then there was a 2016 reboot. There was a special. Blossom and Bubbles look okay, but Buttercup's head looks weird. A Boeing 737 decorated with Powerpuff Girls for Delta Express. Anyway, that's a little bit of Powerpuff Girls history. Let us open those cards. You like them because your wife likes them, but your true feelings is that they're okay. They are superpowered, invulnerable preteens that battle villains and love their adopted father, Professor Utonian. They're cool. You love Craig McCracken's Foster Home. Oh yeah, Foster's Home. That was a popular one. They're coming out with a Powerpuff Girls live action show. Being grown up in modern day, trying to get back into crime fighting. Might give it a chance. Exactly. I think a lot of times with nostalgia, sometimes companies just assume people will love things because of nostalgia. And I don't know if I'm just a curmudgeonly person nowadays, but I don't feel that I really fall for the nostalgia stuff on some things. Alright, so what do we have here? This is Blossom's ice powers, I guess, from one episode maybe? Ice Sword. It tells you the plot, it tells you a notable quote. Oh good, Blossom has stopped the giant fireball. Miss Bellum's quote, Mayor's quote, card number 25. Love the concept, the idea, them trying to get back into crime fighting. Well, it'd be interesting because then how are they at the point where they're no longer crime fighting? You would think that this would be something they would have a lifelong pursuit in. So here's the episode where the mayor was beating up Fuzzy Lumpkin in the Fuzzy Lumpkin tricked the mayor into becoming the mayor, and they got he needed to get the mayorship back by wrestling him in the ring, as I recall. Impeach Fuzz, the plot. The mayor shows Fuzzy a couple of moves of his own that include, but are not limited to, body slams and flying leaps off the turnbuckle. Fuzzy is down for the count, and the mayor is victorious. Card number 50. We have, I like this. Perspective-wise, it's a little bit off in terms of Professor Utonium is obviously sitting down, but because there's no shadows, it makes him just look like he's standing in a weird way. Because Mojo Jojo is standing up, and they're always flying, so you can't really tell when they're standing or whatever. But I guess he's supposed to be sitting down. He got knocked down, but he doesn't really look like it. He looks like he's just kind of shrinking. Remember the episode, if I remember, Fuzzy was one of the better anti-heroes. That episode also was, I think, his cousins. He cheated and brought all of his cousins into the ring, so it was like 3 Fuzzies versus the mayor all by himself. But the mayor still won, like that. But here we have a cool little early sketch of the character. I always like seeing those model sheets. Early drawings. Speaking of model sheets, since both of you, Gabe and Stevie, took my class, you would remember the model sheet assignment, I'm sure. Mr. Mojo's Rising. Notable quotes. I don't believe it. We had our very own pet monkey. This is the same episode okay, this is card number 40. This is the same episode with the Fuzzy Lumpkin wrestling. Then we find out that the mayor's swole. Yep, that model sheet assignment. I'm teaching that same class again on the summer, and that's the usual assignment that was submitted again. So, yep, card 49. And just a shot of from the mayor's point of view. Oh, here's another model sheet. So there's I was going to quiz you both on it, but the answer's right there. Mayor turnarounds. I was going to say, what type of model sheet is this? If you were to remember back in the class, right, we had a few types of model sheets. And yes, we're bumping into again the class after meeting, doing the TV film class. Behind the scenes, model sheets are used by animators as a reference tool when drawing the characters. Turnarounds show all sides of the character: front, side, rear, and 3/4 view. Yep. The front face, back side, turn one. Yeah, the turnaround model sheet. And then here's a fun one right here where I guess everyone likes that hero better than the Powerpuff Girls, but he turns out to be a fraud, as I recall. Major competition episode design sheets. Episode design sheets, like model sheets, to capture the look and feel of each episode. They might be used when a new character is introduced in an episode, or to give the look and feel of a particular scene. So, yep. Very mannered style as was the time. Alright, so that was the Crack-A-Pack. What was your favorite card? Swole Mayor, Triumphant Mayor, Accusatory Mojo, Blossom's Ice Powers, the Three Girls, or Get Out of Here, Three Girls. Those were the cards. We didn't get any of the chase cards, no hologram or foil or whatever they were saying, but I'm sure the odds of getting those were so astronomical to really get the kids to buy more and more of them and then never actually get anything good because of these packs of cards were loot crates before there were loot crates. You know, these drops in the games nowadays. All right, we're gonna take a short break where I get something to drink, and we'll get into the draft in a moment. Have another bite of that snack later. There's another Crack-A-Pack that I've got, and here it is. I'll open this later. I'll give you a preview of what it is, what these cards are, so that you will be so happy when I open them later on. I can't believe I found these at the store, so I got these at one of these local comic shops. It's funny because I'm sure they have this inventory that just sits there. And apparently this has been sitting there for 30 years. Is that right? Let me check the cover. Yeah, copyright 1992. So these pack of cards apparently have been sitting in their warehouse for just about 30 years. And this is what we're going to open on the next Crack-A-Pack. A booster pack of U.S. Election 1992. Special Election Edition. The candidates, the issues. Decision 92 trading cards from Wildcard. What does this say here? Including Billionaire Ross Perot Special Subset. 8 cards per pack. And then just a bunch of extra stuff on the back over here. So we'll open these up a little bit later. Decision 92, produced exclusively by AAA Sports, Cincinnati, Ohio, printed in the U.S. So we'll see there if we get a Bill Clinton or a, who was in 92. That was Bill Clinton versus Bob Dole. No, that was Bill Clinton versus George Bush Sr. Because George Bush Sr. was elected in 89, I believe? 88. It was 88. 88 to 92 was Bush Sr. Then 92 was Clinton versus Perot versus Bush. And then 96 was Clinton versus Dole. His running mate, John Kemp. All right, little U.S. history there for you. We'll be back in just a bit. I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll get some more gameplay going on. While we're taking the break, you can tell me there in the chat all your memories of the U.S. election 1992. All right, we are back on the question of reopening. There's mixed signals because things seemed to be going towards starting to open up a bit more, but the new Delta variant of the virus seems to be making a comeback, and in California they were saying that they were allowing more maskless people if they were vaccinated and dropping mask requirements and such. But starting today, LA County, the largest county in the US, has reinstituted, re-required people to wear masks even without even with vaccinations, that is, because the Delta variant is starting to do an uptick in Los Angeles. So here in San Diego County, I'm sure we'll follow because we're like the second or third biggest county in the state. So things are really still changing, and don't know. Originally, they were starting to plan like 25% reopening in the fall, but who knows how that'll change. So we'll just have to kind of still keep up to date with the news officially from the colleges. But that's how that's kind of at the moment. Let's get back to the gameplay. Let's do some draft now. So this brand new D&D set, Adventures into the Forgotten Realms. So many game modes, which is the one that I want here. Let's see, there's Premier. Yeah, that's it, Premier Draft. Yeah, Premier Draft with real opponents. Yeah, okay, this one's it. So, alright, I'm going to start the draft. I might not be able to glance at the chat while I'm in the middle of it all. Apologies on that, but let's get this started. Everyone's ready to go. Oh, these classes are always good. There's a brand new way to level up classes. Portable hole is some removal. I think this class is a good way to build up. It's a lot of white cards here. That hawk, that hole, class, the shield. Charmed sleep. Haha, that's hilarious art. Yeah, we'll go with that class and then see what else comes along. So now we have a card simply called Fly. Make a creature fly. Maybe we'll go with green-white. Maybe we'll go with blue-white flyers because I'm already seeing another hawk over here. And then this fly lets you venture. Ray of Enfeeblement, instant, -4/-1, or -4/-4 if it's white. They don't do as much color hosing like they used to in terms of a red spell really damaging a blue spell. Faraday's Fireball deals 5 damage to a creature or planeswalker, then roll. That's cool. There's a lot of good things here, but let's see how the blue-white flyers looks. Oh, there's another cleric class. There's the life gain synergy. It's a flyer. I'm going to be seeing about blue-white flyers for a bit. Evolving Wilds. And that's new art. They brought back phasing for this set. Divine Smite. Target creature or planeswalker phases out. If that permanent is black, exile it instead. So phasing is back. Yeah. They did a little bit of it recently, and then now I'm seeing it more. People used to get very concerned that it was too complicated. Because the thing is, you treat it as if it doesn't exist. And that's a little confusing. Let's see if we can take a little pause here. Who else is in this pod? Cough E. So we'll be back. Cough E. Clabian. Earl Grey. F Tango. Robin Hood 24. I don't really have any life gain strategies, but that's a white creature. Robin Hood 24, Nomad 31, Stewie. So we've got a Quintorius, one of these Secret Wanderer, whatever the name of this thing is. That is Killian, Teferi, Jace. Alright, pack 2. There's a blue dragon, Charmed Sleep, Oswald Fiddlebender. Trickster's Talisman. This can give a +1 or duplicate a cool creature. So we've got a lot of dice rolling in the new set. We've got some phasing. What else? Dice rolling, phasing. We've got venture into the dungeons. Got a lot of dragons. So how many of you there in the chat ever played real Dungeons and Dragons? I know it's been around 40 years or something, but I don't think I've ever really played it for real. I know that the card club on one of the last semesters was trying to put together the some games. You know of it. Same here. Never really got a chance to play it. It feels like too much of an endeavor. You're gonna go for a night walk? Cool. Have fun. Stay safe. And if you put the stream on your phone, you can go for your walk and pretend like we're still with you. But then as you're walking around, people are going to say, who's this weird guy talking about weird things? So I've got a lot of blue and white things coming in that I think are pretty good. Everything has been getting in my colors. You're gonna go on an adventure just like me here in the Forgotten Realms. Here's the new white card that everyone's freaking out about. 3 mana, you get a creature, you gain a life, and you draw a card in white. So people are saying that's so amazing. I saw someone's joke. They couldn't believe it, and they made the joke. They made the joke. This is day 1 errata. To say you gain 1 life, you draw 1 card, and you lose the game. Because people can't believe that white is getting card draw. Oh, there's that white dragon that taps things down. People are passing this priest every time. I've seen so many of these priests of ancient lore in this so far. Such a huge wall of text. When Ingenious Smith enters, look at the top 4 cards. You may reveal an artifact. When one or more artifacts enter the battlefield, put a +1 counter on this. But only do it once. So that was a lifelink enabler that I got a little bit slowly. I mean, a little bit late in the draft. Okay, finally getting a little bit of removal. I don't know how I feel about the name of this new card, +2 Mace. Obviously, if we look in our deck of cards here, it stands out. It looks so weird. This is like the first time ever that in Magic they've put symbols in the card name. So I think it looks a little odd. No one wanted that Pegasus. Alright, I got a lot of blue and white cards. Let's see how this can come together right now. Let's pick a cool sleeve first. Let's go with... confuse everyone with a... Nahiri. Nahiri looks cool. Okay, let's try to craft this deck. It's going with blue-white flyers. Paladin class. That is a... That's definitely for go-white strategy. Got some venture stuff. That is a defender. Don't want. 1/1 flyer. I'm at 48 cards. I have 18 creatures. I think I can, in theory, I should drop 1 or 2, right? How many is it supposed to be? 16 creatures. I need to drop 2 creatures. Maybe some of these biggest ones. And one of the smallest ones. Okay. So that's 16 creatures. And I've got approximately 6 instants to remove. Okay, we'll try with this with 41 cards. And we're going with blue, white flyers. We'll see how it goes. So here's game 1 of the draft, and while the opponent loads up, I'll ask another question of the day. What is your Achilles heel? So what is your weak point? Basically is what that's asking. Alright, so I've got 3 blue. That will help me do a few things here until I get other things. That'll work. Alright, so I'm playing with someone with Simic, aka Quandrix. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. So they're trying to do a little bit of ramp. What do we want to do here? They're just going to ramp, which doesn't really matter, but then I can draw a card off of that. So that's an interesting ramp. Haha. What's good for the goose is good for the raven. Pixie Guide, if you would roll dice. Okay, who cares? So they're playing that, but that's unattachable. Target creature or planeswalker phases out. When this enters the battle, if it's red, tap it. As long as it's red, it loses all beta stage creature. It doesn't untap. So if they tap it, Ray of Flash will do its thing. Alright, so we're getting to venture. Let's go in the direction of making some treasures. So scry then treasures. More lands. Not really. I'm gonna tap to play a land. Alright, Alright, so they have their black mana. They're playing triple colors, black mana. Will they attach their bow? That'll become a 3/4. Sure. Attacking as a 3/4, I can still just easily block with my wall. Ray of Frost. I guess I'll just keep attacking in the air. Don't have any extra card advantage. Hold on to my Ray of Frost, or see a guard approach. Oh, never mind. Great. I didn't see that they have their freaking reach. That stupid bow's giving it reach. What a coincidence. I'm a Flyers deck, and then my opponent's got a reach. Got a reach enabler. Yes, Evolving Wilds, you can crack it and do it right now. So they're playing 4 colors, okay. Finally got their red mana. Oh, right. What are they choosing to tap out? Probably my 2/3. Nope, okay, fine. Let's see, roll the dice, and what will happen? 8. Tap it, okay, fine. Okay, so that's phased out. Let's venture, make a treasure, do some attacks. Down to 10, I can frost them or tap them there, okay. One of these weekends, you have to invite me to my improv at the theater. Possibly. Definitely appreciate the invite. We'll see how things are in terms of health and safety. I definitely appreciate target opponent discards 1 card. If treasure was used, whatever. Instead of play reveals. Okay, so they didn't use any treasure, so I discard 1 card. Okay, I can live with that. I can live with discarding 1 card. Spike Pitch Trap Flash. Blah blah blah. Doesn't do anything. You have to pay. You have to pay a bunch in order for that to do anything. Okay. double block. Okay, so they can't attack with their 3/4 because they need to block 2 flyers. They can throw their mana at... They can throw their mana at... Well, 5 mana will definitely do 5 damage to one of my things, so that'll happen. If they get over 10... Isn't this wrong, right? Because if we have 1 through 9, that's 9. But if we have 10 through 20, that's 10. Isn't it? At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died, put a +1. Okay, that won't do anything. If a creature died... That won't do anything. If a creature died... No creatures died and you just tapped yourself out. You just played yourself. Just go for the strike. Math. Math is for blockers. I'm on bronze 4. I'm at the absolute lowest level of all because I just haven't played a lot of draft. Okay, well, there's 1 win so far. I think overall that felt okay. I did the things that I wanted, I guess. Maybe that shocking, maybe the CU... Maybe I need more of that disruption, actually. Alright, let's go for round 2. Well, not round 2, but the next opponent. Amazing. Okay, so 3 mana for that gargoyle, then the Pegasus, then the planar ally, 3 mana away from anything meaningful. Will they play? Yep, they're gonna play something. Okay, here's the best case scenario. Oh, okay, the opponent... Here's the best case scenario. I play that priest, I draw an island, and then I can attach that fly. Come on, come on. They have Wither Bloom mana, which is the new fancy way of saying Golgari. They're black and green. Okay, so next turn, if I get one more mana, if I have that cleric class, that'd be nice. I'm missing a bunch of land drops. At the mulligan, I'm missing a bunch of land drops. I think a lot of people do that Fan Delver because they get to scry. Tonight you bumped into old friends from improv levels 1 through 3. What were they up to? Were they also ready to come back to the real life? So if you want to say, tell me a little bit about how you do, or what style of improv, or how you do the improv that you like. So this opponent has all the removal. I'm listening to the podcast Office Ladies, which is Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey, who were on The Office, the American Office TV show. They do a weekly podcast where they review, where they talk about the show and making the episodes and all that good stuff, and they talk about how they had the ability to sometimes do improv. Yeah, I have to remember that this spell can either phase a thing out, or if it's black, completely exile it. That's what I needed to hold on to my spell for. Whoops, did they choose a wrong thing? Each opponent sacrifices any championship control gains menace. Can't believe I'm still so far away from that blue dragon. Can't believe that my good card was spent on that worthless creature. Improv is really fun. You take suggestions from the audience. Remember, the group comes out and says you need a suggestion, then 20 minutes based on that. 20 minutes to an hour. Okay, so if this 5-5 can live, if this 5-5 can live. There are tons of openers that you do. One is the living room, where you sit around like it's a living room, talk about real life stories based on suggestions. It definitely sounds a lot like the improv for humans that I like to watch. I mean, listen to as the podcast. Alright, so if they don't remove my flyer, this is game over. Yeah, this is game over. Well, they have one card left in hand. Don't let it be murder or whatever. I don't think that'll completely kill me. 6, 10, 11, 12. It's pausing for some reason, so obviously we should be worried. But let's take this one out here. Let's block this one here. Then this one. They're tapped out except for one thing. They get to venture. Create a treasure. Okay. Finally. Alright, we got them. This was not their magnum opus. The opponent is opus. Now, did they mean opus as in the as in that little penguin? Anyone know what I'm talking about? Opus the penguin from Balloon County / Outworld. Anyone remember that? Or did they mean opus as in their magnum opus? So yeah, they had all the removal, and then I was scared about that 6-5 right there. Alright, that's 2 down. That deserves another snack chat. So before we go to the next one, let me do another one of these snacks. Oh, I forgot to also do over here. Alright, and if we go to the card cam, we can see here. So if you're all joining in the chat, you missed us opening some packs of Powerpuff Girls. Tell me if you were into the Powerpuff Girls. And I'm about to open this Japanese Kit Kat, which is nuts and cranberry flavored. They melt kind of fast. But here it is. It's supposed to sort of have them at the top. Yeah, this is so melty. So there it is. There's the nuts and cranberries at the top. So melty, so messy, still very crunchy. I think Twix is, or Twix are, some of my favorite snacks. That reminds me, actually, let me put something there in the chat. I have a very important poll on my YouTube at the moment. What I'm going to do is put the poll in the chat right here and right here. If you haven't had a chance to vote in this very important poll, take a moment to follow the link and vote on the poll. You can do that while I'm enjoying my next Japanese Twix. The trick is to eat them quickly because they melt so fast. Nice and crunchy. I guess there is a little bit of the cranberry flavor in there. But I mostly taste the taste the chocolate and the nuts. I think there's a dark chocolate Twix. Probably have many favorite candies. Yeah, it only has a small amount of available choices. That's why there's the comment. If it didn't have the option that you wanted, that's what the comment is for. Blue versus black. Blue black versus blue white. Such bad luck. Nothing meaningful for both of us until turn 4. Oh, that's that one talisman that is good, isn't it? Guess what I'll start to do is do a little venturing. If this lives... Scry plus token. I think Scry plus token has been pretty useful for me. So you need to equip that. Get a creature plus equip. Okay, that's fine. That's a little bit bad luck. No problem. Uh-oh, here comes the removal. We'll just keep putting more stuff on the board. Draw 2 cards. Okay. Scry 2, then draw 2. Okay, lucky. Scry both and grab both. Lucky. Sure. So I can recast my veteran Dungeoneer and get another adventure trigger. Death Touch creature, passing with lots of blue mana open. So what I definitely want to do is Divine Smite it. Okay. We have a ton of mana. I have a ton of mana. Mind Flayer. Dominate. When this enters, gain control target creature for as long as you control Mind Flayer. Okay. That'll be okay. How about we phase it out? Nice. Now when that Mind Flayer phases back in, when that Mind Flayer phases back in, what will happen? Yeah, don't look at that. That won't do anything. Sure. End turn. Why won't it let me play that? Choose target creature an opponent controls, then roll it. Oh yeah, because it's phased out. Never mind. Okay. See what happens here. So the Mind Flayer came back and then it turned off. Ha ha. It turned off the ability to steal my... Alright, so they're going to go with that old trick. What does it do again? Whenever creature attacks alone, they lose whatever. Okay. Death Touch. Sure. That's a ward of 3. Okay. That's a ward of 3. Alright, you can recast it if you want. Let's see if they get greedy and want to attack. That's not a lot of return on investment. If you keep attacking... That looks scary. Yeah, so they want to keep attacking. Fine. Yeah, the new dice animation. Plus the sound effect. I don't know if you heard the sound effect. They did a -11, -11. Death touch of 0. My own blue dragon. Well, I'm not going to be able to win this one unless I can take out my own dragon. Yeah, this is game over. Okay, well, winning with my own cards is not a real victory for them, because it's my own card. "60-card decks typically have 23 to 27 lands, depending on average spell cost." People forget about that they kind of think 24 is written in stone, but even that tip there says 24 to 27. So we have Air Elemental, and this is Air Cult Elemental. Back in the day with the original elementals, Air Elemental, Earth Elemental, Fire Elemental. So we have the brand new creature type of Tiefling. Alright, so they'll equip their thing, which is fine. I can Shocking Grasp it. Target player discards 2 cards. Fine. So your Beholder is tapped out. That has Vigilance. Okay, that's what I want. Okay, we're just on a top deck war here, so hopefully there we go. I can live with that. We'll just stare at each other a bit. Are you sure about that? Okay, let's see how this goes. Top Deck War Part 2. If they're not playing anything, that means either this is amazing or they're really mad. Huh. Okay, good. They're on a 5-turn clock. This will help a little bit. Guess I just need a blocker. They're forgetting to pass their bow. Yep, they forgot to pass their bow equipment. Okay, they'll equip the Reaper Talisman, attack, untap their stupid Roper. This is an amazing top deck. They're going to equip that, then it'll be too strong for me to kill. No, I can still kill it. But then it'll untap that. Death Touch. It's not good. Yeah, that was the Venture. was good. That was a good top deck. Draw one card. Yes, draw me the card. Steel Raven. Alright, it's coming very, 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 very close. Alright, no big. Equip, but it can't attack. It's also known as tapped. Alright, pass those over there, sure. Let's look at this carefully. Whenever a equipped creature attacks, it gains Death Touch. Whenever a equipped creature attacks alone, defending loses 2 life. Okay, fine. There's one blocker right there. Okay, let's venture. Which of these will be good? Loses a life, does a scry. Let's do a lose a life. That's game over. Actually, each player loses 2 life unless they discard a card. Oh, they don't have any cards to discard. They lose 2 life. Yes! Discard a card, decline. Yes! Oh, that was an adventure through the deep, dark dungeons. Yeah, that was the sound of the... Thank you. That was the sound of the adventure stuff going on. That was out of the final moments. Actually, I was about to kill myself. I didn't realize that. Because I didn't discard my own card. I had 3 life. That was so close. I had 3 life, and because I chose not to discard, I lost 2 life. They had no cards, so they were going to lose 2 life. I wasn't thinking, and I should have discarded my land. And this might have been a tie. If we were both on 2 life, this would have been a tie. Reading the card explains the card. Alright, that was nerve-wracking. And we're up on the next level on the ladder, and 3 wins, so 1,000 gems and 2 packs. Only 1 loss so far, apparently. Alright, let's keep going. Oh yeah, and then in a moment, I guess maybe we'll open these election cards. Who's still hanging out there at this late hour? Thank you. So here's a brand new removal spell. Minimus Containment. Enchant non-land permanent. Enchanted permanent becomes a treasure. So whatever they have becomes a treasure. So their planeswalker becomes a treasure. Everything becomes a treasure, and then the only thing they can do with it is to sacrifice it. The art is really cool too, isn't it? They're stuck in their gem, and there's a little ant over here, a little beetle saying, "Hey, what's going on?" I should probably save it for something good. I can take a damage or 2. Dragon Turtle. That taps us both, but mine untaps first, I think. We're having a thunderstorm. No problem. They're just out aggroing me at the moment. Well, we're dead because they obviously are still going to have a combat trick. They're going to have a combat trick when they attack. I can block one, and they'll probably do the same combat trick that they did a moment ago to turn their thing into a 4/4. Oh, they did my own Minimus thing to me. Fine. And then that's just completely dead. So, okay, well, just completely flooded. What a way to go. After the nail-biting one last time, then it's just to get flooded. Amazing. Alright, let's try to go for the third. Let's try to see if we go for the next win or we get knocked out. I don't remember how I got these Nahiri sleeves, but I think they look pretty cool. These don't have any effect like other ones do, that they glow and do things. Okay, so we've got two things, Ray of Frost or Power of Persuasion to block. Actually, Power of Persuasion is not an instant. Well, at least here they might sacrifice their ghoul. I mean, they might use their Sepulchre Ghoul to sacrifice that Yuan Ti Fang blade. Sacrifice another creature. This gets +2 until end of turn. Only do this once. So... since that blade is worthless, I'm sure they're going to sacrifice it. I'm sure they're going to sacrifice it to make that stronger into a 4/3. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to sacrifice it, make it a little bit stronger, but I've got a blocker, plus I get to venture. What aspect of them that they feel out of place with magic, or that the mechanics are too different? There's a few nitpicky things that I don't like. There's a card in here that is called +2 Mace, and I think it just looks really weird on the name of the card. It says literally the symbol plus and then a 2 and then mace, and I think that's a little weird. 3, 4, 5. That Ranger's Hawk is pretty useful to be... that people were snapping those up. Let's see if they choose to venture instead of doing stuff. They could put the pressure by sacrificing this blade into this and making it bigger. It looks like they're going to keep venturing. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to eat their blade. And... okay. They're all tapped out. Let's keep tapping them. Well, let's see if they don't have that one board wipe sphere of annihilation or something. Okay. Good creature gets... you may sacrifice this when you do. It deals with damage to any target. Sure. Put it on top or bottom. You know, like the dungeon delving card that comes off the card just don't seem to fit. Don't know, maybe there's too much old school magic. Yeah, I do on myself. People can enjoy things how they want, but I'm not a fan of the Walking Dead cards, the new Universes Beyond. I think they're handling it pretty wrong in terms of they really could be this is so annoying. I finally pulled some good cards. And that's probably game over unless... yeah, they got massive mana screw. I've got 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 8 mana up to this point, and they're stuck on 3 mana, and they managed to do okay. Yep, they'll just pull that back. I've still got these flyers, and I don't know. Just, this is sort of the extreme about, like, it's not over till it's over. I don't know, this is over, right? There's no pitch spells in Arena. Yeah. Did you ever get the Bob Ross lands? No, there haven't really been that many secret layers that I've been interested in. I was interested in the OMG Kitties, the very, very first one, because I wanted some of those cat cards, and people told me, like, hey, it's on sale. So I don't think Keeb is in the stream at the moment, but he messages me and he said, don't forget that the kitty cards are out, and I forgot. So I never got them, and now they're worth, instead of them being $40, now they're like $140. So those are the only ones I really wanted. I like the art on them a lot, and I like that they're reprints, though I think Secret Layers in that way, they're fine, but I don't like that there's going to be Stranger Things cards. I think the Godzilla ones were good, that they had a skin on an existing card. I don't think that the Walking Dead cards were good, which was completely original, valid cards. I think that broke the immersion too much. Having Rick Grimes in the world of Magic. Yes, it's a multiverse, but no, let's not put the Walking Dead into things. And then same thing with Stranger Things. I don't know, is that show still, do people still care about Stranger Things? I watched the first season and I loved it. I saw the second season and I liked it less. I saw the third season, 2 episodes, and then I gave up on it. So I don't know. I'm not into that property anymore. And I love Spider-Man. Everyone knows that Spider-Man's my favorite character, but I don't want the Spider-Man magic cards and Star Wars magic cards and all that. All of you, of course, I'm not trying to gatekeep, and everyone can enjoy what they like. For myself, I just don't like that aspect of things going in that way. Yeah, when we see each other, give you my freebie. No, you have to keep your own Bob Ross lands and put them in your decks and have some really cool decks. So when we play, you can take them out and show your amazing Bob Ross lands. Takes you back to the good old days of Dominaria with Land of War Tribes, Mons Goblins, Pearl Trident. Yes, that was definitely the classic stuff. Alright, let's containify this bear. So on the one hand, you give them ramp. On the other hand, you completely deactivate their permanent. So if it was like their planeswalker, I think that's a fair trade. People love that Bullet. Gone are the days of tap 1, swap Dark Ritual, Royal Assassin. Gone are the days of 20 Plague Rats. You never got into The Walking Dead. Tried to get into it when your dad was into it, but gave up on season 2. So I watched the first season and I liked it so much. I watched season 2, and that's when they I don't know what happened behind the scenes, something about some people got fired or some people quit in protest or something, but season 2 was notoriously a very bad season. After coming from a very good season 1 and going to a very bad season 2. This is an aggro deck, so I don't know if we can survive this, but the people behind the show on season 2 things changed, and season 2 was a very meandering, aimless season. And I remember watching it back then and thinking, this is kind of meandering. But and then the following seasons, 3 and forward, they were pretty good. And then I watched it for a while, but then at a certain point sort of felt like things were kind of being drawn out a lot, and I did watch it for several seasons until I was kind of hate watching it at a certain point, and then I finally stopped watching it. This is dicey. The power of the dice didn't. I need to do a set where Teferi time walks to the past and goes up against the old school stuff. We need a return to fallen empires, but then do it right. You have your own. You have a 3/3, I have a 3/3. Well, I will give you one scry, and they kept it on top, so obviously it's good. Alright, we're in crunch time. Hopefully they don't pull anything very good from the top. Okay. Well, let's go claim those rewards. I think I've got a couple of booster packs and some gems. 3 booster packs and 1,400 gems, so let's claim those. Thank you. Let's go see what's in those packs. So my counter here says I've got 18.1% completed of this set, and now it's 18.7. Wild card, air code. You hear something on watch. 2 mana instant. Creatures get +1 or 5 damage to an attacker. There's the Gloomstalker 2/3. If you completed a dungeon, it's got double strike. Fate's Reversal. Haven't seen this one yet. 2 mana sorcery. Return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to your hand and venture. So it's the good old. What was the classic? What was the classic? Raise Dead, right? Raise Dead was the 2 mana enchantment, I guess, but what was the 1 mana? No, that was Animate Dead. Yeah, Raise Dead was the 1 mana sorcery to bring a creature back to the from graveyard to hand. Animate Dead was the one about take any creature from any graveyard, put it onto the back. It said enchant dead creature. Let's go look at it right now. Let's go. Why, imagine the cards if you can actually go look at them. So, Animate Dead. We'll look at the vintage one with the very, very, very old wording. Here's from Alpha. Enchant dead creature. Any creature in either player's graveyard comes into play on your side with a -1 to its original power. If this enchantment is removed, or at the end of the game, target creature is returned to its owner's graveyard. That creature may be killed as normal. So flowery, so verbose on the beginning because this was a brand new game and you had to really spell it out. But now, the most recent wording is animate dead enchantment aura. Enchant creature card in a graveyard. When animate dead enters the battlefield, if it's on the battlefield, it loses enchant creature card in a graveyard and gains enchant creature card put into the battlefield with animate dead. Return, period. Return enchanted creature card to the battlefield under your control and attach animate dead to it. When animate dead leaves the battlefield, that creature's controller sacrifices it. Enchanted creature gets -1/-0. So the language nowadays is so horrible. They've really backed themselves into the corner sometimes on these, I guess, on these edge cases about how their templating has to be a certain way. But this just sounds so horrible, even compared to the old 1993 card. When animate dead enters the battlefield, if it's on the battlefield. Well, of course, it entered the battlefield. Why would it not be on the battlefield? It loses enchant creature card in a graveyard and gains enchant creature put into the battlefield with animate dead. Like their reliance on having to repeat their names of the card on the card, I think, is such a detriment. You might notice that whenever I talk about cards and I'm reading them, I simply say this. Most of the time it just makes sense. Enchant this creature. Instead, animate dead enchanted creature animated with enchanted animate dead. Sometimes I swear, like I'm also saying, I don't like that they use it's, the contraction. They should really use it is, or it has, or whatever, and they should use cannot instead of can't, because, you know, yeah, use up three letters on the space, but it's just for better readability. And then you have this wall of text that just is embarrassing. Yeah, it's extremely wordy, and that's probably not the worst of them. I'm sure there's wordier ones. Anyway, let's look at the evolution of this. When it went over to 4th edition, eventually it became a little bit more. Is this 4th? No, that's 4th edition. Okay, here's 4th edition. Enchant dead creature. Take target creature from any graveyard and put it directly into play under your control with -1/-0. Treat this creature as though it was just summoned. If animate dead is removed, bury the creature in its owner's graveyard. So that was the next evolution of. That was the next evolution of the wording. Then in 5th edition, they further changed it to enchantment. When you play animate dead, choose target creature card in any graveyard. When animate dead comes into play, put that creature into play, and animate dead becomes a creature enchantment that targets the creature. Enchanted creature gets -1. If animate dead leaves play, bury the creature. So I think they got better, but then they couldn't leave well enough alone. And then in what is PD3? Premium deck Graveborn. So in this much more modern 2011, because there was Eternal Masters 2016. So 2011 is when they made this huge change that we have nowadays about loses this, gains that, enchanted, so that's how that is there. Does Scryfall do any card games in any formats for legal format? Just Magic, so not every card game, just Magic, but it does let you search for cards in a format, legality and such, yes. If you go over to Advanced, and then you say card type cat, but only format legal in old school, vintage, historic, etc. Old school. Let's see how many cats were there in 93-94 Magic. 3. Cat Warriors, Jedit Ojanen, and Savannah Lions. Yeah, don't show me the new printing. Show me the old printings. How do you do this here? Not reprint. Show me the originals. There we go. So the original Alpha Savannah Lion, 2/1, 1 mana, OP. The traditional kings of the jungle command a healthy respect in other climates as well. Relying mainly on their stealth and speed, Savannah Lions can take a victim by surprise, even in the endless flat plains of their homeland. And then what was the... They reprinted it recently on Magic 25. Cool realistic art, but give me that old art. The art kind of seemed a little bit weird to me in that it looked like a huge lion was about to jump on a little lion. But it's just that the perspective, one lion is back there, one lion is close, but if you look at it quickly, it looks like a huge lion is about to chomp on a little lion, right? And then in the modern 8th and 9th edition, even the brave are scared by a lion 3 times, first by its tracks, again by its roar, and one last time face to face. And that is a Somali proverb. Well, that's interesting. So they were using they were still using the real life flavor text then. And then the most recent flavor text, one alone is fearsome, one among many is unstoppable, and that's a Benelish proverb. That's fun. And then we have Catwires. I love this one. This is by Melissa Benson. You can always remember Melissa Benson's artwork because she puts her little M on that. She did things like Nightmare, the original Nightmare card. 3 mana Cat Warrior, summon Cat Warriors, Forest Walk. And it doesn't explain at all on the card what Forest Walk is. You have to read the manual. So imagine playing with friends and no one has the manual and it says Forest Walk. Like, what is Forest Walk? Savannah Lions and Holy Strength. Holy Strength was +2/+1, right? No, +1/+2, because Unholy Strength was +1 +2/+1. Holy Strength was +1/+2. So then you got on turn 2, you have a 3/3. Amazing. These stealthy felines have survived so many battles that some believe they must possess many lives. I love the art on this one. Of course, I had my Chronicles reprints, White Border Chronicles, where they had to mess with the alignment. Centered flavor text, left aligned flavor text, and then in 5th edition they explain what Forest Walk is, and then on 6th edition same thing. And then good old Jedit Ojanen, 7 mana for a 5/5, the end, with no further abilities. Mightiest of the Cat Warriors, Jedit Ojanen forsook the forests of his tribe and took service with the Robaran mercenaries, rising through their ranks to lead them in the battle for Efavra. So that's a Mark Poole card. I think I don't think they've ever reprinted this card, or they've printed like Jedit's Acolytes or something. Yeah, Jedit Ojanen of Efra. Oh no, that's a reprint of Jedit Ojanen. And then Jedit's Dragoons. Jedit's Dragoons Vigilance. When Jedit's Dragoons enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life with this totally steampunk cat. After Efrava was destroyed, the Cat Warriors scattered across Dominaria. Those who followed Jedit's example were strong enough to survive the ravages of Apocalypse. And then this is the new Jedit Ojanen. That doesn't look the same. I don't know why this doesn't feel the same, because there's so much white on the chest of this one, but not on this one. It just doesn't feel the same. But I guess he's older, right? Because he's got young hair here, and here he's bald with a beard. The Cat Warriors recognized this Jedit's face, but not his fierce loyalty to Efrava. This has got Forest Walk, 5/5 Forest Walk, whenever Jedit Ojanen of Efrava. See, that's the thing. Whenever Jedit Ojanen of Efrava attacks. Why don't they say, whenever this attacks or blocks, create a 2/2 green Cat Warrior creature token with Forest Walk. That's fun. Anyway, back to the game. We were reminiscing about the good old days. What were we even talking about? Something about one of these cards that I'm about to open up. Oh yeah, Raise Dead versus Animate Dead. So power creep, and now Raise Dead brings back your creature and lets you venture. Plate Armor, 3 mana. They're doing more colored artifacts. The equipped creature gets +3 and has Ward 1. They're doing more Ward, where a creature is protected unless you pay that extra. Equip 3, this costs 1 less to activate for each other equipment you control. So this could be free equipment. If you have 3 other equipment, this equips for free and gives your creatures Ward 1 and +3/+3. I've been seeing people play this commander more and more. Kalane, a Reclusive Painter, 2 mana, Human Elf Bard. It's a 1/2. When it enters, create a treasure. Other creatures you control enter the battlefield with an additional +1 for each mana from a treasure spent. That's a big theme in this set as well. You get an extra little bonus if you spend treasure when you cast your spells. And the rare is Orcus, Prince of Undeath. Black, red, 2 and X for a 5/3, flying trample. When this enters the battlefield, choose one. Each other creature gets -X, and you lose X life. Return up to X target creature cards with total mana value of X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. They gain haste. Ooh, that's fun. I kind of want to... That's kind of a fun commander to make a deck out of. Make a bunch of mana, -X to everything, hurt yourself, YOLO, or bring stuff back from pay X, pay a bunch of X and bring a bunch of stuff back from the graveyard with haste. That's fun. Yeah, let's look at the Kalane art again. It's nice art on Kalane, and they're doing nice art. Can't really tell what they're painting. Some sort of scary thing. But I kind of have a hankering to make this deck, so let me set it up here and then work on it later. Make an Orcus deck later. Although Orcus makes it sound like it's a whale. And then back to the packs. Ooh, got a rare wild card. Owl Bear, it's a 4/4 trample. When it enters, draw a card. Priest of Ancient Lore, it's the gain a life, draw a card creature in white. Herald of Hadar, it's a 4/4. If you pay 6, you can roll a die and you do a bunch of stuff. Each opponent loses 2 life, or each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life, or if you roll a perfect 20, which has a certain name, a critical hit? Is that what that's called when you do a perfect 20? Each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life, and you create 2 treasures. I wonder why they couldn't continue the number 2 life, the number 2 lose life, the number 2 gain life, and the number 2 treasure tokens. Veteran Dragoneer, I was using this one over and over. Adventures, it's a 3/4 with Venture. I was using this one, it's a 2/3, gives a creature flying. Great minds think alike. When you read the Demon card, you were thinking that would make a nice, raise things with a cool onslaught of stuff in the graveyard. Displacer Beast, 3/2, when this enters Venture, pay 4, return this back to your hand. Drider, Elf Spider, 5 mana, 4/3 with Reach. When it deals combat damage, create a 2/1 menacing spider token. Ooh, that token looks scary. Look at that scary red spider snaring a horse. If that's a horse, that spider is huge. And the rare Circle of Dream Druid is by Sam Gay. I believe they are Rebecca Gay's child. So mother and daughter doing magic cards. I don't know if that's ever happened before, but I believe I read somewhere that this is the daughter of Rebecca Gay, classic artist. Circle of Dreams Druid, 3 mana, 2/1, tap it to add green for each creature. Oh yeah, this is the Gaia's Cradle reprint. This is the Gaia's Cradle in the into a creature. Put this one in there. Yeah, bring it back from the graveyard. Make a bunch of scary spiders. Let's look at the last pack. Find the path. 3 mana, enchant a land. Gives you double green, and you venture. Inspiring Bard, 4 mana, 3/3. When it enters, choose one. Target creature gets +2, or you gain 3 life. You've been practicing the DMV test. You've been surprised at how much you remember. Yeah, you can try for that license one more time. So you mean to tell me that all of the practice that we have on Mario Kart doesn't help us to get the driver's license? Oh, there's that Silver Raven that I was playing with. I just noticed the person holding the Silver Raven seems to also have a little bit of blue in their mouth. What does that mean? That they were kissing the Raven and they got a little blue on them? There's that Pegasus again. This one's so funny. Eyes of the Beholder, 6 mana. Target creature gets -11 until end of turn. This is how you kill Ulamog. Ulamog is indestructible. It's a 10/10. It's indestructible. What stops indestructible? Exile and minus counters. So here we have the answer to Ulamog. Although Path of Exile does it too, right? And that's a single white mana. Got an uncommon, Monk of the Open Hand, 1 white. 1/1. Whenever you cast your second spell, each turn, put a +1 on this. Okay. We used to play GTA. You never want to play with me because you never took the driving part seriously as a simulator. I don't know if GTA is a great simulator for a driver's license. Den of the Bugbear. That is a horrible looking goblin. Is that not the scariest goblin we've ever seen? Land. If you control 2 or more other lands, this enters the battlefield tapped. Okay, so this is best for early in the game. Tap it for a red, 3 and red, until end of turn. This becomes a 3/2 red goblin creature with whenever this creature... See, they said it there. Whenever this creature attacks, why don't they continue their own? Whenever Den of the Bugbear attacks, create a 1/1 red goblin creature that's tapped and attacking, and it's still land. So it can become a living land, and it makes more goblins. Just remember, if it's going to hit you in the driver's side, you're probably in the wrong. Reminds me of the Goblin Hero. Goblin Hero, that sounds familiar. Let's look it up. Goblin Hero. Oh yeah, Goblin Hero. Isn't that the one with the only... Isn't Goblin Hero the only card with the word orgy in Magic? Yeah, not that one. We gotta go to the old one from the dark. They attacked in an orgy of rage and madness, but only one seemed as focused on killing us as on the sheer joy of battle. Look at that orgiastic goblin. And then the next time they printed it, they didn't print it until 5th edition, 1997, and then they changed the flavor text. When you're a goblin, you don't have to step forward to be our hero. Everyone else just has to step back. Bigum Flodrot, Goblin Veteran. Anthology, 6th edition, starter 99. Yep, classic Mark Tedin art. Although it looks a little bit more like goat-like, I would say, than goblin-ish. No, I still think this one's a little scarier. Alright, so those were our packs. Let's do our final cracker pack, and then we're kind of getting to the end of the stream now. Actually, I've been streaming 3.5 hours, so this is approximately a good amount of time. Let's open up the last pack, but also let me show you this. Let me show you this over here. There he is, hanging out on the chair. He's so big. I was looking at some of my old streams from December and January and February, and he was so little. Now he's so big. He heard me crinkling the booster pack, and that woke him up. So let's open this booster. You're considering taking coding classes. There is a class called something like programming logic that I would recommend, because it's also sort of the concepts of being a good programmer. The thing about programming, let's say in whatever software you're working with now, the language of a certain software might not be applicable to all places, but if you take a class on programming logic, that should be pretty useful. Oh, now he got his little paw stuck over there. Look at that, he got his paw stuck on the chair. Yep, he got pretty large. He has a cool fur pattern, definitely. Someone said that he looks like latte art. When you get a latte and you get that foam on the latte. Okay, let's open this. These very esoteric cards. This is very WTH. Planning on using either Unity or Unreal Engine. Haven't decided which one yet. Both of them are very good ones. I've never used them, but I know that they're very good in the industry. Okay, so I've never seen these in my life. But back in the 90s, this was before Magic. Magic came out in 93. The election was in 92, so these came out in 92, possibly late 91. There had been cards before this, collectible cards, board cards, of course, baseball cards, and there were Marvel cards. I remember the Marvel series cards were amazing. I've got a nearly complete set somewhere. And you just had a large clap of thunder and everything shook. Oh no! Hold everyone tightly, because that sounded loud. Let's see what we have here. You'll get the highly prized General Schwarzkopf and President Bush picture cards. What is this? Special offer. Get a complete 60-card set of the acclaimed Operation Yellow Ribbon Desert Storm trading cards. You get the highly prized General Schwarzkopf. 10 points without looking it up. If anyone remembers General Schwarzkopf's nickname. And President Bush pictured cards, all the full-color photos, and exciting military and biographical facts regarding the most remarkable military achievement in our time. Such propaganda. You know, the U.S. was so ready to win a war after Vietnam that it was... Desert Storm was on par with the Allied victory of World War II. But anyway... send $8.95 and postage to Cincinnati, Ohio. Alright, let's see what these cards... For being 30 years old, the glue still holds very well. That good old toxic glue from back in the day. All right, Richard Nixon. Flashback, the 1960 election. That was Kennedy versus Nixon. Nixon lost at that election. So what does the back of these look like? Flashback, the 1960 election. The involvement of the media, especially TV, in the 92 campaign has been unprecedented. Network and cable coverage of the primaries up to the minute, etc., etc. Oh, this is an interesting time capsule of things, but these are so boring. Instead of collecting baseball cards and Marvel cards or DC cards, who is collecting election cards? So 1992. Major issues. Competing for nomination. Oh, there's Jesse Jackson. Wasn't his nickname Stormin' Norman or something? Yes, exactly it. He was Stormin' Norman Schwarzkopf. And he was the big name of Desert Storm. So in '92 you were too. Yeah, you remember? Remember back on CNN, you were watching CNN and learning all about Stormin' Norman Schwarzkopf. So I recognize Jesse Jackson. Who else is there? I think that's Mayor Ed Koch. Possibly. Let's see what this says. Major issue, competing for nomination. In Campaign 92, the national consensus is that our central cities are struggling to deal with poverty as jobs and money flee. This has led to a cultural debate, especially within the inner cities. Both whites and blacks believe that fatherless families are at the heart of most problems in urban ghettos. George Bush advocated enterprise zones created by cutting taxes on targeted areas. Republicans and their tax cuts, I'm so sure. Helping public housing residents own their units, and fighting crime through community-based organizations. Buchanan indicated that city problems are best addressed through tax cuts and incentives to stimulate growth. Sure, buddy. And we've got primaries and state conventions, Democratic Leadership Council. Yeah, these are way more boring than I thought they would be. Flashback 3. The only person in U.S. history, presidential history, to contradict the above philosophy. We travel down the road to life, which, ever turning, never brings us to the crossroads again. Oh yeah, because President Cleveland was president twice, but non-consecutively. The only president to ever do that. He was president between 1884 and 1892. He was president for 4 years in 1884, and then again in 1892, becoming the 22nd and 24th president. So that has never happened. Ironically, Cleveland was the only Democrat to be elected between the Civil War in 1860 and Woodrow Wilson just prior to World War II in 1912. So back then, when the Republicans and Democrats were completely different. But yeah. Next up. Oops, wait a minute. Oh, okay. They were stuck together. Okay, they were stuck together. So this one goes with this one. Whatever. And then this one. If I were 21, I'd vote for Barry. Oh, that's back when voting in the U.S. you had to be 21. How old do you have to be to vote, Mark? So in the U.S. you have to be. Nowadays you can be 18 to vote, but you still have to be 21 to drink. But at one point it was also 21 to vote. You have to be at least 25 to be a representative, a member of the House of Representatives. You have to be at least 30 to be a senator, and you have to be at least 35 to be president. Let's back Ike Humphrey. Do they still make presidential buttons nowadays? These are way too nice for today's nasty climate. Viva Carter. Republicans for Johnson. What does that say? Okay, America? What does that say? Okay, America, you get I'm with you. Oh, that's Franklin Roosevelt at the top there. Next. 18 in New Zealand to vote, drink, and get married, or hold a full driver's license. Yeah, driver's license is 18 here as well. Married, it depends on locality, and some of our less evolved states allow marriage like at 16 and 17, and even the worst ones are maybe even younger depending on the situation. But that's the problem with a decentralized government. The importance of the census. So every 10 years, as mandated by the Constitution, we take a census of all of people living in the nation in order to appropriate representatives and funds and so forth. So we just had the 2020 census, which people are calling shenanigans on, and I wonder if anything will come of it. So, oh yeah, and they also want to get DC statehood, which I approve of. And here's another 1960 election. So young. You forget how young and innocent-looking Nixon was. But don't fall for it. He is not. You miss the era when government actually cared for the people, unlike nowadays. Well, there's still people that care. It's just that the most negative aspects of things just seem to stand out the most. Kennedy was little known outside the state of Massachusetts. He had gained some fame serving in the Senate's Crime Committee, etc. This was the first televised debates where everyone was very dreamy-eyed over handsome presidential candidate Kennedy, and they say that's one of the big reasons he won that election for just TV personality. You hear banjos when you said less about. Dial D for democracy. That's Ross Perot. He was a third-party candidate who siphoned away votes from the other candidates, was a self-made billionaire, and ran for election twice. Got like maybe 5% of the vote the first time and 1% the second time. Perot has supported interactive communications with a grassroots base by promoting electronic town meetings to discover the will of the people. So this is pretty interesting, pretty progressive, that in 1992 he's having digital town meetings. Think of the internet and all of that in 1992. This was before the mass communication we have now, of course. Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff, of course, like 10 years at least, 12 years. But there was AOL, there was CompuServe, there were BBSs, there was Usenet, dial-up modem, yeah, exactly. So this candidate was trying to be the candidate of the youth with technology. Here's the checklist. 100. So there's 3 checklists on this. This definitely seems, unless I see the, because I see here on 76, 77, 78, actually 74, 76, all of these are about Ross Perot. So it feels like this whole pack of cards is all about propaganda for that candidate. The Hillary factor, still talking about it since then. But if it's a little less partisan, I would believe that it is less partisan. But it does feel like these whole cards are just made for that candidate. There are 6 stripe subsets. Trade up or down. Any combination of an individual card can be traded for cards equal or value. What? You also play some sort of game with these or something? And next we have a pretty great photo of the Lincoln Monument, the election of 1860. That was... who was that? That was Lincoln versus... what was this big... Buchanan, I think with a B or something. What was his name? Yeah, it doesn't mention who was the opposition. And lastly, another Ross Perot propaganda photo, Perot's impact on the system. When there are only 2 candidates in an electoral race, one is bound to receive a majority of the votes. However, when the intruder enters with a strong message, his candidacy, or their candidacy, could keep a major party candidate from receiving the electoral majority. If the Electoral College cannot produce a majority of 270 votes, the House has to choose the president from the 3 top vote getters. The Senate would pick the vice president from the top 2. All Perot may need is to carry 1 large state to send an election to the House, which did not happen at all, for better or for worse. Editorializing, I think for worse. We have a 2-party system in the US that doesn't allow for nuance, whereas other countries have coalition governments. We just saw in Israel, for example, finally the toppling of Benjamin Netanyahu, when a coalition of opposition parties banded together to oust him, finally after, 12 years in power, with his far-right policies. So I think little by little, maybe the US is moving towards a little bit more ranked choice voting and coalition government rather than winner-take-all, which is great in sports, but not in government. And that ends today's political chat. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. We're just about at the end of today's stream, so I think we'll wrap it up at this point. I hope everyone had a good time, except for this boring stuff at the end here. Be honest, how boring was this? Did anyone care about this at all, or just me? I think it was way better to look at these Powerpuff Girls cards. But I would definitely vote for Professor Utonium for president. So we played a little bit of the new set some more. We saw some more of the cards. I felt a little bit better on the cards than the last time that we played. The new set is coming in real life next week, I believe. I ordered a box. I will be able to open some of those on the stream in 2 or 3 weeks, 2 weeks maybe. And next time we come back, we'll do the same. We'll do some snack chat, have some fun snacks here and there. Now that I'm saying goodbye to the stream, that's when the cat perks up. Look at him, he's looking right at my soul. So next time we'll do some more streaming. We'll play some more of the we'll play more of the drafts. We'll put, yeah, I'll probably work on that demon deck throughout the week. Let's take a little side detour over here before we wrap up for the day, just to get some behind the scenes. How is old VM Compost doing on the social media? We're up to 1,360 subscribers on YouTube. My latest videos. People loved this. Where is it at? People loved this Velabacus Lorehold deck. That one red-white dragon deck that I showed. It already has 11,200 views. That's some of the most views I've had in a while on that scale. 11,000. This has 385 thumbs up and 34 people that lost to the deck, so they gave me thumbs down. Another recent deck that I did was this Extus, this double-sided avatar sacrificey thing. One's got 92 likes, 4 unlikes. Just released a couple of shorts in the last few days doing the best of... Oops, I need to re-upload my thumbnail. I put the best of Babs Bunny. This is not Babs Bunny. Okay, I'm going to do this live right now. This is an egregious mistake. This is not the best of Babs Bunny fan art. Just a moment here. That's why it's not getting the views yet. This is Fifi. Let me just fix that thumbnail. I was working on multiple at the same time, and for some reason I was using the old template for the other characters. So glad I caught that. I don't want to get thumbs down for pedantic people saying, actually that is not Babs Bunny. So where did I save that? Okay, so I should vet those before I open them. Okay, so let me fix that. Change this. Save, there we go. Catastrophe averted. Alright, so that was just some recent... I also did this. This is kind of a joke, and we'll see if people get the joke. They probably won't, because I think my humor is too dry sometimes. But here I did a short one, a YouTube short, arena secret cards in a very dramatic voice. So far it has 5 likes and one unlike. So we'll see. Now I don't know why people are giving a thumbs down to this help me decide video. if those of you that are here on the stream, I put out this video. I'm gonna play it muted. But in this video, I'm saying I just got a bunch of random cards. Help me decide, vote on which ones I should open up. There's a bunch of weird stuff in here, so watch it. It's just 1 minute. And I'm asking people, tell me which ones to open up. Some people have replied, but I guess some people are replying to me by giving a thumbs down. So 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down. People, why would you thumbs down? That's not even. There's no reason to thumbs down that. Like, I hate your video about you asking a question. Why would people thumbs down that? Now, if I have an amazing video about how to make a great deck, yeah, okay, people could thumbs down that because people have opinions. But how can you thumbs down just a request about help me decide which of these packs to open up? Maybe they were all so bad, people thought, why don't you open magic cards? And they're thumbs downing it because they don't want me to open those weird cards. People liked this ranking the dragons. That one's got 1,935. It's got 87 thumbs up and 9 thumbs down. Didn't get a lot of views on my video showing which Modern Horizons 2 cards I got. Only 14 views on that, but a perfect 100% thumbs up. I did this long video on a Spider-Man comic, and that one's doing well. 64 views. Perfect thumbs up. Yeah, if any sharing would be great. Very much appreciated. The most valuable Ice Age cards, doing pretty well. 791 views. So there's a bump in traffic there. That made me a cool 13 cents. What's the exchange rate if we convert that to New Zealand dollars? How much is 13 cents USD versus NZD? And like I said, that lore hold deck is blowing up. That lore hold video. What else? People like my dollar bin diving video where I bought a bunch of comics at the mall for $1. Anyway, that's some behind the scenes there of the that's some behind the scenes stuff of the YouTube grinder. 20 cents. So let's wrap up at this point. Thanks everyone for coming to hang out as usual. Hopefully you enjoyed some of the gameplay, the snack chat, the cracks of packs. Saw some new cards. Thought some thoughtful things from the question. Let's do one final question of the day. You have to answer this before you leave. I'm going to randomly just jump anywhere in the year. So you have to answer this. What's your favorite snack food? I did not plan it. It is there. I just randomly went there. It's what's your favorite snack food? Besides Tim Tam. You are welcome. So, well, my favorite snack food is a nice slice of pizza, extra pepperoni. Does that count as a snack, or does it have to be like crisps or biscuits or whatever? I would say a slice of pizza is a snack. There's a classic Mexican chip or crisp, corn crisps called pizzerola. Let's finish the stream with that. This is a classic snack of my youth that were corn chips, pizza flavored. Let's see here. Are they from Mexico? Pizzerolas, Mexico. Yeah, this one's it. Yeah, not those Doritos. This is it. This is a classic. Taquitos.net. Classic. These were pizza flavored chips. Still buy them on Instacart. Come on, Sabritas, sponsor me one day, and I'll gladly talk about the magic of pizzarolas on my stream. Salt and vinegar chips. Those are good. Add a little Tabasco, and then they're perfect. Okay, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for coming to visit. This has been VM Campos. Don't be a stranger on the Discord. See you next time.